Believe Nation, we are back. It is official. It's happening. Summer is over. I had an amazing time with my family, and now we are back in the grind, back in the content creation. We're back. Anyway, hope you guys have been having fun. I've missed you. I've missed this regular 2 p.m. spot to hold and answer questions. Today's Monday, so Monday's my mentoring day for me. Let me just put something below. Ask questions. Hopefully this still works as it used to. Below. Ask questions below. Here we go. Ask questions below. We'll pin that comment. There we go. I forgot this is what I normally do at the start of a live session. Anyway, welcome aboard. Sister Naria. Hope I pronounced it okay. My first live with you. Amazing. Welcome. Hi from India. All right, India in the house. I love your Clubhouse room. Awesome. Hey, thank you. Clubhouse has been a fun experiment. It's great to see the impact that it's having. IG Live with Angela in the house. Look out. Angela sent me an amazing message. Says she was missing our 2 p.m. spot. So we're back. It's happening. Taking questions. Looking forward to... Where's the question? Oh, the question box is still there. Okay. Question box is still there. Let me see. And we might do some lives too. So let's see what happens. Okay, let's answer a couple questions and maybe bring some people in live. See what goes on. What do we got? What are you reading these days? So I read 7 to 10 books at a time. Last night, so somebody asked me today, on my stories, do you just start books and never finish them? Sometimes. I'm very willing to put down a book if I don't like it, if I'm not learning something from it. I think we should walk away from things that you're not learning from more often. But for the most part, if you see all these different books showing up on my stories, it's because I read a different one every day. So 7 to 10 at a time. I just started last night. My friend Anthony Trucks has a new book out, Identity Shift. So started that one. Another friend of mine, Koya Webb, just came up with her book. And so I'm popping that one on soon. And then still catching up on some of the books that I was reading before. So yeah, I don't know why. You know what? I think one of the main reasons, so people ask, why do I read 7 to 10 books at a time? I think a book has an imprint, if you're reading my book, if you're reading Built to Serve, you kind of get into Evan's mind, you start getting the same belief and mindset, and you start changing, as you start reading a book, you start changing your beliefs, you start changing what you think you're capable of, you start changing. So when I'm reading Think Like a Monk, like from Jay Shetty, I start thinking like Jay Shetty. When I read Identity Shift by Anthony Trucks, I start thinking like Anthony Trucks, And so what ends up happening, at least this is what always happened to me, I'd read a book, I'd be really engrossed in it, all consumed, start thinking like that person, want to make some changes, and then I stop the book because it's done, and then I'd find that I would lose that, I miss it. I miss that same energy and same vibe and same zone that I was in. So what I'd rather do is stretch it out, because I think that the micro dosing has a bigger impact, right? So once a week I get a little hit of Jay Shetty, and once a week I get a little hit of Anthony Trucks, and once a week I get a little hit of whatever I'm reading at the moment, Ryan Holiday, and it's an ongoing reminder. And I think when you do that, not just the specific strategies that you have from the book stay with you, but I think just you read a book because you want to change who you are. You want to change who you want to become, a better you. And so I think when you can prolong a book out, at least for me, I'm not necessarily saying this is what you should do, but it works for me, that the longer I'm with a book, the more likely I am to actually change. By reading Jay Shetty once a week, having that little hit every week, it reminds me of the person that I want to be. And I think when the reminder goes away, you stop making progress to becoming that person. Anyway, that was a bit of a long answer, but hopefully that helped. I like microdosing books. I did so without realizing it. Yeah, I don't even know if that's a thing that people talk about, but maybe we just made it up. Microdosing on books. I find it works. It works super well for me. So yeah, I'm 7 to 10 books at a time. If you ever want to know what I'm reading right now, just look at my story and you'll see what I'm posting. Okay, wow, lots of questions coming in. You guys are amazing. Okay, what do we got here? Rahul. Hope I pronounced that. Probably not, but hope I did okay. Why you've had a huge impact, especially on Clubhouse? Clubhouse has been an experiment, so we were talking a little bit about it when we first came on. my goal is to spread. I'm trying to solve the world's biggest problem. People don't believe in themselves enough. I don't believe in myself enough. You don't believe in yourself enough. And so wherever people are, I want to try to spread belief, to try to spread hope, to try to be that little bit of reminder, to be the positivity, right? To be the change you want to see in the world. I want to see more belief. So I'm trying to spread belief in as many places as I can, because for some people, Clubhouse is where they're at. And so I want to try to be there to try to spread belief. So it's still in the experimental phase. We're doing a daily stream of content, and sometimes it's mine, sometimes it's famous people that we can learn from, similar to what I'm doing on YouTube, just bringing it to Clubhouse. And it's been fun. It's been fun seeing, sometimes it's just that one, you guys have felt it, sometimes it's just that one bit of advice or that one clip that hits you at the right moment when you were ready, or said just in the right words. Maybe you've seen it before, but for whatever reason, today was a day that it finally sunk in, something happened, And I want to try to give people that, because that one moment could give you the courage to go do the thing that you want to do. That one moment could be the day that you decide, I'm going to go and chase my dreams down. I'm going to say yes to this. Finally. Today maybe is the day. And I want to try to be that person. I think anybody watching here, you guys are all positive, encouraging, uplifting, filling other people's cups. When you can be that person for others as well, how good does it make you feel, right? Like when you, like a conversation with you, or post that you put on Instagram, or just a quick little phone call or live, you never know what the impact you could be having on somebody. I know sometimes we get frustrated when we look at our Instagram content and like, oh, I only got X number, only 5 people like my content, or I only got 1 comment on my post, or whatever metric is, success for you. Well, 5 people like that post. Maybe for one of those 5 people, that's actually a life-changing post. Like maybe 4 of them are just hitting like, but maybe for one person, that's life-changing. Just to hear it in your words, from your perspective, maybe that's the shift that they finally needed to hear, And so instead of thinking, wow, I wish I had 500 people liking my post instead of just 5, well, maybe you think out of those 5, somebody's having a life-changing moment because of what you made. And if you stop posting and stop creating, then that ripple effect of positivity doesn't happen. So that's my goal. I want to try to spread belief from what I can share and for what other people can share. Because if Oprah says it in one way and Kanye says it in another way, and I say it in another way, and IG Live with Angela says it in another way, hopefully in the repetition, but also in hearing the different ways people say it, maybe the way Angela says it hits you in a way that with Evan it doesn't, And so it's sharing it for myself, but then also it's why I have programs like Movement Makers, because I want you guys to share your message too. I want you guys to put your story out there too, because somebody's going to see what you created, your video, your post, your interview. They're going to see what you made. And for some people, that's going to be a life-changing piece of art. It's going to take them on a totally different path. But then if you were too afraid to actually go and make it, those lives wouldn't be impacted. Make sense? Anyway, this is fun. I missed you guys. Okay, what else we got? Response couldn't be shared. Try again. Okay, that's weird. Okay, anyway, let me try that again. So Nina was asking, will you be doing live Clubhouse sessions? So Thursdays probably. So Thursdays, I forget what time. My friend Mark Drager, who I think hosts a bunch of Clubhouse rooms and wants to bring me in. So we usually have a standing time. I want to say 3 o'clock. I could be wrong, Eastern, but yeah, I'd go check that out. Otherwise, most of my time, I don't like Clubhouse first because it's an audio-only platform. I would much rather come here. I'd much rather do my live here than do it on Clubhouse, because I can bring people in. I can see the questions. It's a lot more visual, and I just much prefer visual. Marley saying, Marleonaire saying, Believe Raids. Believe Raids is a super fun project. If you check out believeraids.com, every day it's free. Every day, if you want to spread a little act of kindness to somebody, every day, Angela, who's here in the house, picks some amazing person that we want to spread love on, and we all dump love on the person. So we'll take somebody who's not prolific yet, who's not like a giant name yet, who's not getting a ton of comments on their posts, and not getting a lot of love. but still trying to spread positivity and impact. And so she picks some amazing human, and then every day, or 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, you get an email, and it all leads to one post. It's like, okay, go give this person, give a little bit of context of who this person is, like go give them some love. And if you just like it, or you just keep going, or just hashtag believe raids. Anyway, it was a fun project that came spur of the moment, and I messaged Angela, and she's like, I'm in. So we started it, and we can check it out, believeraids.com, if you're curious. Okay, let's see, what do we got? How old are you? How old am I? That's a good question. What year is it? 2021? So I'm 41. Yeah, so as of May. So my birthday is in May. So 41. 41. I never remember these things. I spend too much time in the present, not looking backwards. Okay, what do we got? Next question. I was believe rated, and it was very awesome. Yeah, it's great. Like, listen, when you're used to getting only a couple comments or no comments, and then suddenly, even if 5 people show, like, oh my God, Joey, this is amazing. It's like, what I'm doing is working. I love, just a quick, before we get to this question, just a little quick side note. I remember in the early days of my YouTube channel, every single comment. And I post every month on my Instagram how my YouTube has grown, over the past 12 years. And it took something like 5 or 6 years to get to 10,000 subscribers, something like that. That's a long time, like my first year I had 30 something subscribers. My second year I had 100 something, like it just wasn't growing. So I remember every time I got a comment on my video, it's like, it's working, like somebody cares. I got to keep going. And there were many videos that got no comments. And so I really cherished those early comments that came in, and now I still do, but I we've grown to a point where I can't see every comment. I don't know what everybody's saying. Even here, I'm missing comments like crazy. I appreciate all you guys. I love you. So the ask is, hey, if you see somebody, you know how important it is. Antonio was mentioning belief rates. You know how helpful it is to get a comment, to get a little bit of love, to get a little bit of just recognition. So thank you, gratitude. That the ask is, hey, if there's somebody in your life, some creator whom you don't even need to know, but they've had an impact somehow. Somebody you follow on Instagram, somebody you follow on YouTube, a small creator, right? Somebody who's not getting a lot of stuff, not getting a lot of comments. And just today, go leave them a comment. Just give them a little bit of love. It makes a huge, like that comment might be the difference between them quitting what they're doing or not. And more so than the big channels, right? Like I don't see all the comments that come on all my posts. But for somebody who's just getting started, your comment might be the difference between them posting again or saying, I don't know, I think I'm done. Like nobody cares. I'm not having the impact. And it's just too discouraging and everybody tells me I suck. So I'm going to stop, So if there's anybody like that in your life who you follow on any of the social platforms, just give them a little bit, like it takes 8 seconds. It doesn't have to take long. You don't have to write a novel or a life story. Just go take 8 seconds and give somebody that extra little bit of love. It makes a huge, huge, huge difference. Send me a referral, Believe Nation. We can rate them. Yes, Angela is the heart of the Believe Rate operation. So she gets to pick who we all go give love to. So yeah, if there's somebody who's good-hearted person trying to have an impact, trying to make a difference, and just not seeing the results yet, and just needs a little bit of extra encouragement from a bunch of strangers, let Angela know, and we can add them to the Believe Raids list, and we'll go give them some love. Makes sense? Hashtag Believe Raid together. I love it. Okay, Venki is asking, how do we stop wasting our time, I guess, and do tough things? So it starts with creating a calendar for what do you want out of your life. Like what is an aggressive, ambitious, ideal, intentional life look like for you, right? So for me, part of it is I want to have an impact. I want to touch people's lives. I want to make video content. I want to go live and answer questions, And so if this was not in my calendar, it wouldn't happen, right? I'm coming back from spending all this family time, which was amazing. I've got a million things to do on my plate today. My team needs me. Emails are crazy. This wouldn't happen if it wasn't in my calendar because there's always something else to do. But you have to choose to either spend your life reacting to all of the little fires that come up, or you choose to live your life with intention to say, these are the things that I care about. And these are the things that if I can do consistently will have a dramatic impact on the quality of my life and where I'm building and growing. So you need to have a little bit of space, and maybe you take it over a weekend, or you take an afternoon off, or you just went for a walk or shower or yoga or whatever, to kind of, how do you step above the noise and the chaos of what you're going through right now, to start to think, what do I want my life to look like? Not from like cars and whatever, but habits. Like, how do you want to be living your life on a daily basis? And you start planning that into your calendar. You may not be there yet. You may not be able to do that yet. There's restrictions. I get it, but working towards it. Maybe you're not in charge of your calendar yet, but you can be in charge of your evenings. You can be in charge of your weekends. Maybe you can be in charge of your lunch break. Using that time intentionally to start to build the life that you want. Adam Duran in the house. Adam, man, I missed you, man. It's been a while. Looking forward to seeing you again. This guy is pure energy, positivity. He was the only, quick Adam Duran story, he was the only guy to introduce me. So I did my tour, 23 cities, 90 days, and he was in San Jose. That was my stop. And he'd been messaging me. I forget what we were doing, kind of back and forth on Instagram. And he went live. This was it. He went live. I was at an ice cream store the day before we were going to go and do my event. I was in San Jose, and I was at an ice cream store, and he went live, and nobody was on his live yet, or like a couple of people. And so I showed up on his live, and he brought me in, and we had an awesome conversation, and I've been watching him a little bit, and I said, hey, you know what? I want you to introduce me tomorrow. I want you to introduce me tomorrow. Nobody's introduced me on any of the stages that I was doing, but tomorrow, I don't know. It just came to me. Like, you get these ideas that don't make sense, right? What do? How long do you sit on them? You are a rock star, and I'll never forget that. This was not planned. Like, what do you do when you get these creative moments? I want to, as much as possible, follow through on them. Sometimes we're too scared. Sometimes they're too big. Sometimes we shut ourselves down. Sometimes we don't even notice that we're shutting ourselves down. That's what actually happens most of the time. But when you can catch it and you get a great idea, what are you going to do about it? I'm giving back more than ever, Evan, because of you. Well, I'm I'm half of 1% of your success, man. I'm super pumped for you. So I get this idea while I'm talking. I'm sitting in my car with my wife and my cameraman, Danny. It's dark. We're eating our ice cream. Adam Duran goes live. We join in. He brings me in. And I invite him to introduce me the next day at my event. And to Adam's credit, listen, he could have said, no, I'm not ready. He could have said, oh my God, what am I going to talk about? It's like, it was the night before. It's not like I'm giving him a month of prep work to watch all my stuff and know. And he said yes. And that's what I love. It's like in those moments where you say yes. I'm sure Adam was scared. I'm sure he was excited to do it, but I'm sure he was also nervous. I'm sure he was also scared. He didn't necessarily know what to say. He might be worried about disappointing me or letting me down or saying the wrong thing in front of a group of people. His hometown in San Jose, he's going to be my representative there. And he showed up, super professional, brought a cameraman with him. He says, yes, I was. And he crushed it, and it was fantastic. And it was this great little moment that was a unique part of my whole tour. Because I had the idea, one, that Adam was live. So instead of just enjoying my ice cream, I'm going to go join Adam live. And then while I'm talking to him, I'm like, hey, he should come and introduce me at tomorrow's session. Right? Like, when do you say yes to yourself and your ideas? I believe that the ideas come to you for a reason. I'm not judging it. It's easy to talk those down in my own head to say, well, I don't even know this guy. I've never met him in my life. And now he's going to introduce me? What? Some guy I met on Instagram is now going to be the guy introducing me. But for whatever reason, the idea came to me. Like, he's the guy to do it. And I said yes to the idea. And then Adam said yes to the idea. And a great moment happened. So think about it in your own life. Like, what's happening to you today? What ideas are coming to you today that you are talking yourself down from, that you don't think you're strong enough for, that you don't think you can do it, that sound crazy, that someone like you is not supposed to do? And just start. Just say yes. Just take action, right? I mean, Adam didn't have the perfect speech when he said yes. He didn't even know he needed a speech yet. He just said yes, and then he had to go work on making a speech. We've all got these things daily that challenge us. And I think the more you can say yes to those crazy ideas and believe that they're the best things for you, that's how you start to live an intentional life. That's how you stop living with regret of what you could be. Because I don't want you to be 80, 90, 100, 120 looking back and said, I had a chance, I had a shot. Back in September of 2021, I could have done something. I had this idea, but I was too afraid to do something about it. And so I stayed stuck instead of building the life that I wanted. Adam Duran, Evan, you had a positive impact on my life. Appreciate you, brother. Anyway, so back to Venki. I mean, it all still relates. Like, what's the life that you want to be living? The habits. And then put into your calendar. And then doing the things that are in your calendar. Tessa says, I get it. When you say yes to an idea, it's 12 p.m. Live for me. I love it. Look, Tessa's another great one. Tessa's in Movie Makers, and she was not doing videos. And then I challenged her and others in Movie Makers to do a 100 video challenge. And boom, she's making a video a day, going live every day. Like she's a content machine now. From, it's like, here's Tess. She's got a message. She's got wisdom. She's got a huge heart to want to share, to want to give, to want to contribute, but wasn't making anything, right? It's like knowing that you could do so much more, but not knowing where to start and letting that overthinking prevent you from taking action. Where it's saying yes to do. When she said, yes, I'm going to make 100 videos. She didn't have all the 100 videos planned out. She didn't have a schedule planned out. She didn't know what she was going to be saying in all those 100 videos. She just said yes. And then she figured it out. 3 videos a day, from nothing to 3 videos a day. Tess, we love you, man. Not man. We love you. We love you, Tess. I got too excited. We love you, Tess. Okay, we spent a lot of time on that question, but I missed you guys. What do we got? We got a couple minutes left. Wow, so many questions. Okay, what do we got? Better Call Daddy podcast. What is something you'd like to stop procrastinating on and actually learn? As soon as I bring that to the conscious, I do it. That's part of my identity. Like if I came up with something, if as soon as I thought of something, then I would just start doing it. The tricky part is not in identifying it. The tricky part is just not even knowing. The tricky part is our subconscious just runs the programming. I don't have anything right now that I would like to stop procrastinating and actually learn. Because as soon as I would say the words, I would go off and do the thing. The hard part is there's many, many, many things that I'm not even aware of. I'm sure there's 1,000 things that if brought to my conscious mind, I'd say, yeah, for sure I need to fix that. But I'm just running the same subconscious pattern and not doing the thing that I should be doing. And so that's where my videos help me, right? Like that's where when I'm studying Howard Schultz or Kanye West or whoever, and they say something in a certain way, that maybe I've even heard it 1,000 times, but the way that they said it today, or just a different voice, or maybe I was being hugged, or maybe being yelled at, just depending on somebody's vibe or personality, that it sparked the thoughts that, oh, am I doing that? And if I ever get to yes, I am, then the shift happens. So that's where if you start to surround yourself with the people who are what you want to be like, right? Have the mindset, have the beliefs, have the habits, have the success that you're looking for. Ideally in person, but I'm not hanging out with Kanye West yet. It's not happening. I'm not calling up Ye and saying, hey man, how do I do this? But I can learn from him. And all the people that I profile, you can learn a little bit from, and they push you forward. And anything that forces you to have reflection is valuable. It's why books are great, podcasts are great, YouTube is great, Instagram is great, Clubhouse is great. If you're paying attention, it forces reflection. And then the trick is that's the part that I not struggle with, but I think we all struggle with, or we all have to do the work on. The second part is what I've trained myself to be good at is as soon as you come up with something, you do it. You don't wait till tomorrow. You don't wait till next week. You don't wait till your whatever birthday. You don't wait till January 1. You don't wait till somebody tells you to do it. You just do it in some small, imperfect, terrible, mediocre way. You just do it because the biggest thing missing is just momentum. Okay, let's get to one more. So many questions. Okay, we've answered some of these already, kind of related. Suki in the house. Hey, Suki, great to have you. Suki is another great example of that, where she asked me, hey, will you be a guest on my podcast? or she wants to start a podcast. I don't think she even started a podcast. Suki, if you're still here, you can remember the story. But Suki said something about wanting to start a podcast. And she came in live. We're doing lives. And I said, okay, great. Let's do a podcast. Episode 1, right now. Here we go. Hey, welcome to Suki's podcast. I'm Evan. She's going to ask me questions. Let's go. And that became episode 1 of the podcast, right? Suki's in the house saying, hey, right? So it's just starting. I don't know how long she sat on the idea of having a podcast. And maybe the podcast doesn't exist anymore. I don't know. Maybe it's the number 1 thing on iTunes, or maybe she stopped and doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't matter. You don't know until you start doing it, because you can't plan your way to the end. You got to just start. And the sooner you start, even imperfectly, the sooner you start to get feedback to say if this is something that you want to keep doing or not. Most important is, did you actually enjoy it? Did you love it? Maybe I was the only podcast Suki you did. Better Call Daddy podcast says you are my first podcast too. Amazing. Or maybe Suki's done 1,000 ever since, but it doesn't matter. What matters is she said, yes, she tried it, because whether the podcast continued or not, her development is what continued for sure. And that's what allows you to create all the amazing things you're going to make. Anyway, so she's saying, how is 75 hard? 75 hard is Andy Frisella's program. You got to work out twice a day. Once has to be outside, 45 minutes each. You got to read 10 pages a day. You got to drink a gallon of water. You got to have no alcohol, stick to a diet, no cheat days. I think there's something else in there. But anyway, so far so good. It's really just a decision. As much as it is a thing for most people on just fitness and weight loss and health, it's mental toughness. It's really, when you say you're going to do something, do you follow through? And what's great about it is there's an app and there's a community to try to help you follow through and stay consistent. But at the end of the day, it's still you, because only you know if you cheated on your diet. Only you know if you actually did that workout. Only you know if you actually drank a gallon of water. Only you know. And so it's a mental toughness challenge. It's pretty good for me. I think the hardest thing for me was when I broke my neck and kept going on tour. When I showed up in massive pain and still did 3-4 hours at the front of a room with ice and pillows and all that, and just kept going through the broken neck and concussions and all that. Anything else it's okay. Like it's hard, but it's not crazy hard. It's not the hardest thing I've ever done. So I think the more you can teach yourself that when you say you're going to do something, you do it, even if it's not perfect. Your workouts may not always be perfect, but you showed up. It's on those days that you show up, even when you don't feel like, even when everybody else, this is at the end of the day is what it is. When everybody else would say, oh, take it easy, like, just don't do it. This is break, like it's too much, stop. When everybody else would give you the out, with everybody else with lower standards than you, would give you the out, would tell you it's okay, and all you want to do is run to that comfort, and you say, no, I'm going to do it. That's when you raise your standards. People talk about raise your standards. That's how you do it. That's how you raise your standards. You move the brake line. When you want to quit, when everybody else tells you to stop, you do one more. And it's going to be, some of my workouts were terrible, but I still did them. Nina and I, on day 2 of the 75 hard, we were doing a workout. It was rough and had a little bit of vomit in our mouth as we were doing it, and we kept doing it. That's how you start to raise your standards. Drinking a gallon of water. I'm almost at the end of the night, I still have half a gallon left. I'm so bloated. I feel like I can't drink any more water. I still have half a gallon of water to drink. So what did I do? I drank the half a gallon of water. Why? Because I said I was going to do it. Even if physically, for that one moment, it's not the best thing for you, mentally, it's the greatest thing of all time. Your goals don't count until they're hard. Because if you have ambitious goals, like if you're watching this here, you've got ambitious goals. You know you're capable of more. You want to reach those things. You can do it. You know you want to do more. So you have ambitious goals. So if you have an ambitious goal, it's going to get hard at some point. Maybe it's hard right now. Maybe today is just the max hard day for you. Your goals are going to be hard. It only counts when it's hard. Your goals only count when they're hard. What do you do when you've committed to doing X and then it's difficult? Are you going to follow through or not? Are you going to follow through imperfectly? Are you going to follow through with your best effort? Because that's what really matters. It's the effort. The effort. When I was doing my speeches with a broken neck, it wasn't my best speech. but I showed up. And I'm more proud of myself for those speeches that I did than the ones before that were better because I was in a lot less physical pain. Yeah, your goals don't count to the heart. All right, guys, 2:30, I got to run. Thank you for the love. We are back on again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. Take the energy from this and go do something. Like the greatest way to say thank you, the greatest thing you could do for yourself is this is energy. We made some energy. It's great. Met some amazing people. Hopefully got some decent answers. But there's an energy right now. Take the energy, and no matter what time it is for you, do something to make yourself proud of today. That question that you wanted to ask somebody, that decision you've been holding off, the project you've got in the back of your head that you've been too afraid to do something on, today, some small, tiny step, because the only thing missing is momentum. Continue to believe, guys.